Good evening. It's April Fool's Day, and unfortunately Mother Nature pulled a really good joke on us here in Minnesota and decided to drop almost a foot of snow on us overnight. And it was the nasty, wet, heavy stuff here. So unfortunately I'm just adjusting the speed here because the roads are basically not really plowed. And looks like we're gonna miss that stop sign. All right, there it goes. It's kind of hidden behind the snowbanks and trees there, but yeah, we got quite a bit of snow overnight, and the roads have been, at least by my house, pretty much unplowed. So haven't done really any driving today. This will be my first drive. We're gonna go visit a friend in St. Paul, and because of the fact that I anticipate St. Paul to be very much the same, I'm gonna take a different route that will more than likely be, at least the majority of it, plowed. So, and then obviously there'll be less potholes as well on this route. So we're gonna kind of go through South Minneapolis and then cut over that from there. So, so far this street doesn't look too bad. A little bit too much, you know, momentum there. We should have been stopping a little sooner, but considering where that stop sign was, it did the job. So. And you can kind of get an idea on the side. This is Johnson Street now that we're on. And there is an S-load amount of snow that we got. And it's supposed to be 50 degrees tomorrow, but I don't know how fast this is going to melt. It's just so thick. It was a nightmare to shovel and snow blow today. But obviously you're here to watch FSD, not hearing me complain about the snow that we seem to be getting a lot of. So, yeah, and this will be kind of a pretty boring stretch until we get on the freeway up here. And then there'll be maybe 5-10 minutes we'll be on 35W south, at which point we'll eventually connect to Hiawatha, and then take that into St. Paul. So, this road was pretty bad with potholes. It was kind of my other pothole alley, as I like to jokingly call them. Minneapolis did get out in the last week or so and start fixing some of these potholes, so I anticipate most of them to be fixed. I guess we're going to find out, hopefully not the hard way. The snow plows, unfortunately, I always like to rip up any of the patch pavement there, so it's a double-edged sword with plowing, that's for sure. So far the car's doing a really good job of navigating. You can see the snowbanks on the sides are, even like by these parked cars, are pretty thick. And we definitely don't want to hit them at speed because they would definitely damage a bumper considering how thick the snow is. And the car so far is doing a really good job staying away from them. And you can't really see the center line either as a result. And so far the car is doing a good job staying put where it needs to be. Looks like some of the potholes aren't fixed, but we went around that one. That was nice. Alright, and once we cross Lowry up here, that's where the road surface gets a lot better. But as you can see, it wasn't terrible. There were a few sections of potholes, but it's so much better than what it was a few weeks ago. There were at least, I don't know, probably 10 to 15 potholes on Johnson Street back there. That would definitely damage a wheel or tire or both if you hit it at speed. So glad the city of Minneapolis fixed them finally. Thank you for doing that, city of Minneapolis. little bit of slowing there. I've noticed that it does it at that crosswalk almost every FSD build, and I'm fine with that. It's gotten at least more smooth with version 11 than it was in previous builds. So up here, now we're on Johnson, and we're going to be getting on 35W South here. The road does fork at this point, so we go from 1 lane to 2 here. So when we cross the intersection, we want to make sure we stay to the right. Interesting how the car was saying path blockage there. And this is a good lane, so it should just stay here, and it looks like it is figuring itself out. Now, I plowed the person behind us to our left that thought we were going to get over and gave us some room there. I'm guessing the car anticipated from the snow that it saw back there that it was going to be blocked, and as you can see here, the plows didn't do a super good job with the snow today, but excellent job by FSD there. I didn't give it one single throttle input, and I mean, amazing job here on the on-ramp here, accelerating through the flashing yellow meter lights that are turned off right now, or disabled I should say. This is the weekend, but that was great, like literally textbook, love it. The flashing yellows meter lamps used to always cause problems with previous builds. Any 10.x build would usually be very jerky, and it'd go between brake and throttle, and it just you'd always have to intervene with throttle input, and that's becoming a lot less of a thing with version 11. It happens like once in a blue moon, but it's not nearly as common as it was before. So, and I'm gonna signal and get over here if I can. Somebody's actually in my blind spot, so I can. Car's doing a great job of slowing down here. All right, so it looks like nobody was out changing tires or anything like that, but great behavior by the car there. That situation before with autopilot, traditional autopilot, I know that it was kind of limited in where, and there were a few incidents, but as you can see there, the car did a very, very good job slowing down, detected those cars, and did everything a good human driver would. Obviously, I would have gotten over to the left if I could, but somebody was there most of the way around those people, so I had to just slow down, and that was the best I could do. Alright, so I just changed the navigation here. I actually kind of tricked it out to take this route to my friend's house there. So it should now take Hiawatha and take us the rest of the way to their house in St. Paul here. So. Because of the water on the road, the visibility of the road lines is not very good. But so far FSD has done a very, very good job in with path planning. I haven't felt really any jerkiness on the wheel as we've gone through some of those sections back there, for example, where the lighting's really poor. There'll be more of that up here though, so let's put it to the test here and see kind of how it does. The city streets of Minneapolis here in South Minneapolis are usually pretty tough this time of day with the conditions that we have, so. Alright, so we're making a left turn here on East 46th Street, and this should eventually get us on the Ford Parkway and take us over the Mississippi River into St. Paul. Alright, we have a green turn signal. Let's see how this left turn goes here. We got a car that's occluded to our right. No hesitation whatsoever. Awesome. I'll have to go back and look at the visual there. I would assume it did pick it up on the display there, but I was kind of looking through the turn. so I didn't have a chance to see there, but very confident. That left turn reminded me a lot of what I was used to with 11.3.1. So these roads look to be not plowed as well here, so I anticipate maybe some problem areas. Right here is an example. Looks like they kind of, yeah, it looks like I took over, well, it disengaged there, but the road just got a little, was barely snow covered. Honestly, it barely lost grip if at all. So I'm not sure why I gave up so easily there, but I'm gonna re-engage here. But I kind of anticipated some stuff like that just because of the way that, unfortunately, Minneapolis does plow. It's not been very good lately. So, and I feel like this late in the season they're over it. So I'm going to change the speed to 30 just to knock it down a little bit to the speed limit. But we were going like 3 miles an hour over, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. A little bit of braking there that was unnecessary. That was kind of the first time I saw behavior like that, where it just kind of slowed down for no reason. I feel like maybe it anticipated that the snow banks on the side were going to protrude out into our lane. I mean, it's not terrible behavior. It's just, you know, this is kind of an edge case here right after a snowstorm. But car's doing a fantastic job going around this corner and keeping us close, but not too close to the right to the snowbanks there. If it was me, I'd be over in the left lane, but, you know, did a great job there. So at some point we're going to need to get over a lane to our left. We do have to make a left turn on Kenneth Street here in Highland Park. So we're just crossing over the Mississippi now. Comment to you about the speed limit there. There's your citywide sign right there. So unfortunately Tesla still does not respect that on the residential roads, and it's always an intervention to change the speed to the correct value of 20 on the side streets. So hopefully someday they'll update the map, update the NAP data there and fix that issue. So, but not yet. It hasn't been done quite just yet, unfortunately. Alright, we're about a half mile from our turn up here. So we got a little bit of time to get over here. Alright, looks like we're trying to get over now. Got a decent gap there. I'm not sure why we're slowing down though. So I did press the throttle there. Oh, I see there, the pedestrian. It picked up kind of late on there. So I'm going to report that. In that circumstance, we shouldn't have slowed down at all. If we're worried about the pedestrian, getting over away from them as far as possible was still the right move, and keeping the throttle would have been the other right move as well. So just a slight press on the throttle there to keep it going, because we had somebody behind us there and didn't want to completely cut them off. Alright, and this is our last left turn of this route. We do have some cars coming at us here. There's going to be a good window here to make this left turn. Pretty confident behavior there. We do have somebody walking out here in the street. Alright, so we're kind of getting behind them. I'm going to kind of just nudge the throttle here. Awesome. So, car was very hesitant there. I mean, again, with pedestrians right there. I'm fine with that. And I'm going to let off the throttle now. Alright, let's see what we do here. This road actually looks to be honestly fairly well plowed, so that's good. Alright, I'm taking over now since we are on our street there. And you can see here, the outlet of it was plowed pretty well, but unfortunately the rest of it not so much. So I'm going to spin around, park, and that concludes this drive.